Scrapbook. Absolutely insane with that dunk.
Well, now they're starting to rub it in, aren't they?
Moment right there. The more plays they make like that, the more they'll have these guys on the ropes.
Just 5 to shoot. Shoots off the screen.
He was second guessed at every turn, and that happens when you are picked to make the finals, but also when you coach LeBron James.
Trailblazers trail by 6. Cullen passes to Leonard. To the paint. Mozgov with the steal. And Smith with a clear pass so far. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Chris Kamen's checked in for Leonard. Plumlee comes in for Ed Davis. Freaks checked in for Al Farouk Aminu. And Lillard subbed in for McCollum. 11 feet away. And Jefferson sends it back. Lillard against Williams. Kicks to Thompson. Shumpert gets a wide open look. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Shumpert's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. And Lillard kicks to Freak. They need this. The Cavaliers pull it in.
Well, they're fortunate. The defense was taking a big chance leaving him that wide open behind the arc.
Williams dishes to Varejao. From 12 feet out. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Varejao's got his second bucket of the game to go. Trailblazers trail by 16. Feeds to Freak. Cannot hit. And Cleveland the other way now. And the Cavaliers with possession. They're rolling here with a 9-point run. Williams with a clean look. Again, the Cavaliers score.
A big part of this run here has been their ability to hit from mid-range, guys. I mean, that's unique.
And a lot of teams shy away from that mid-range, but if you can get them off of rhythm, then you can have success. Worked that one inside nicely.
Looking at Portland, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Pelicans.
And the issues they had defensively, in part, I thought, was a huge factor. Really compounded, I think, because it was a road game for them.
Well, you know, they gave the crowd a bunch to cheer about. And when you do that, you put yourself in a really tough position trying to come away with a road win.
Freak kicks to Lillard. Here's Henderson. The three-pointer is right on target. Henderson's got himself on the board with 3 there.
You might not think of him as a laser three-point shooter, but that shot was there for him, and he had to take it.
Jefferson attacking. No good off the pick.
That's really too easy a chance to miss, guys. He needs to be more aggressive and focused on his finishes.
And he gets it to go. And it's 6 points for Chris Kaman.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
To the inside. That's good from Jefferson on the assist by Williams. And the Cavaliers lead by 15.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
And with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, you know, they haven't had to do much work on the perimeter.
And the foul called on Freak. That is his first foul of the game. James outside. Shoots from 12. No good. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. Cleveland ahead, up by 15. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. I'm here with J.R. Smith. What is foremost in your mind going up against these guys tonight?
Well, I'm just starting off attack. Wait and see what my jump shot does in the second half, and try to get to that free throw line.
JR, appreciate the time as always. Kevin?
Thank you, Doris. And we'll be right back after halftime for the start of quarter number 3. it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. You have to like what we're seeing from J.R. Smith.
Always been a dynamic scorer, and we saw in that first half the entire repertoire on display.
Yeah, he's a hard man to keep down, and so far they haven't found the answer for him. I don't know if there is an answer for him, quite honestly.
Plumlee, he's checked in for Kamen. Vonleh comes in for Davis. Freaks checked in for Al-Farouq Aminu. And McCollum subbed in for Gerald Henderson. And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Anderson Varejau's checked in for Mozgov. Tristan Thompson comes in for Kevin Love. Shumpert is checked in for Smith. And Mo Williams subbed in for Irving. On the court for Cleveland, the forwards are LeBron and Thompson. Amon Shumpert is out there with Williams. And it's Varejao in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
And for Varejao, his wild hair and frenetic style long ago earned him the nickname Wild Thing. I mean, diving for loose balls, taking charges, but that energy and enthusiasm may be unsurpassed really by any other player in our league.
And yes, sir, that one drops.
Buckets coming in bunches right now. He is just being big time.
Lillard against Williams. Here's Kirk. Out of bounds. Cleveland takes possession. And let's quickly jump to the 2K leaderboard to find out which point guards have been the highest scorers over the last month. Damian Lillard is second. Fourth, Kyrie Irving.
And this is a group of guys who have that uncanny knack to simply score and put points up while they find ways to get the rest of the team involved. Really the complete package.
And to me, that's what makes them so special. I mean, they don't have one way to punish you offensively. They've got several. You want your point guard to be the most versatile player on the squad, and these guys are.
Well, Greg, you're talking about Varejao. He may play wild, but his production has backed it up. A few years ago, he averaged, Clark, over 14 rebounds a game.
Yeah, and, I don't think he plays that wild. I think he just looks wild. That hair flying all over the place, and he's giving up his body. I don't know if he's necessarily a wild player as much as he just looks and appears to be everywhere at all times.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Well, once they recognized the advantage they had inside, it made a lot of sense just to continue to attack that area. Well, he certainly isn't the one to blame for them being in the hole. He's been on the money with his game.
Kyrie Irving's checked in for Shumpert. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the Cavaliers.
I thought maybe they'd cool off a bit at halftime, but they've continued to bury the jump shot.
They've really been on fire from beyond the arc tonight, too. I mean, a lot of their points have come from out there.
That's good. Henderson's got 4 points in the quarter.
And a sharp pass to set up that high percentage shot in close.
LeBron outside. Floats one, and that's 2 points on the layup.
I like it. I like it. He broke out the fancy finish there.
Trailblazers have gone 7 for 16 in the second half from the field, shooting a bit under 50%. LeBron with the block. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by James. And the Trailblazers making a change here. Aminu's checked in. So Portland ends up going with the new group. Cleveland also making some changes. Mozgov, he's checked in for Varejao. Love comes in for Williams. And Smith subbed in for Kyrie Irving. Kirk in at small forward. Frazier is out there with C.J. McCollum. Then there's Myers Leonard. And it's Davis in at the 4. That's the group in the game for the Trailblazers. And Love has it in the corner. Mozgov wide open. He fires. He's 4 for 6 from the field with that miss. McCollum with the ball. Picked up by Love. Here's Kirk. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers.
Yeah, good tough D there to get a hand up and force that miss.
That's example number one of why he is such a strong defensive player and why he has such a great defensive reputation.
Another gap in the defense found there, and they've really had their number today.
Frazier kicks to Leonard. Good, great play set up by Frazier.
The defense has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
And I'd be interested to know just how many of these attempts have come from inside of 5 feet.
Back to Smith. On the wing, James. He's guarded by McCollum. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play. That'll put Kevin Love on the line. It goes on Ed Davis. And the Cavaliers with some changes. Jefferson's checked in for Thompson. Shumpert comes in for James. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Smith.
Oh, and look at how well he led him in there. Really, he passed him open for that deuce.
Picked by Mozgov. Here's Dellavedova. Frazier covering.
Well, it seems golden age for point guards. So many point guards on so many teams are the leaders and best players on their team. You can name a dozen all-star level point guards in the league right now.
But they get it back. Freak kicks to McCollum. There's the screen. Freak with it. Now guarded by Shumpert. He used that pick to perfection.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him. Really good awareness right there on the assist.
A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Frazier outside.
Move the ball and stick it to
Davis sets a screen. Frazier outside. 6 to shoot. Shoots. And there's the foul. It'll go on Ed Davis. That will be foul number 5 on him. Anderson Varejau's checked in for Cleveland. Cleveland's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. It's a pick by Love. To the wing on the left. Love with the screen on Frazier. Dellavedova. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls.
And those are two teammates right there working in rhythm. One setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
Frazier the pass to Kirk. Rebound by Dellavedova.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it. Gritty and rough. But that's how you win games.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for Cleveland.
Agreed, Steve, and as one-sided as it gets today. You know, Clark, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
You're right, Kevin. It's hard to think of anything that didn't go right for them. I mean, game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was spot on.
And so this is going to end up as victory number 24 on the year.
They simply refused to let their opponent off the hook in either game of this season series. That's why they're going to finish the year with a record of 2-0 against the Trailblazers.
And when you look back at this one, what an amazing performance this was for LeBron James. A big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving, finding guys when they would flash open.
Al-Farouq Aminu, he's checked in for Portland. There's 42 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
And you can see where they're coming from by fouling to stop the clock, but really they're just kidding themselves.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this game is over, and they're the only ones who don't realize that.
There's 37 seconds left in the fourth. They double him with Freak. Left side, Shumpert. He dishes it to Jefferson. Pass to Dellavedova. To the middle. Here's Love, and he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
And you can hear the disappointment in the crowd tonight. But we saw a team that was just ready to do battle in this arena. They clearly wanted this road win.
Crystal clearly. They came in here determined to steal this game, Greg. Their effort level, I thought, was outstanding, and they just took care of business.
So we see the Cavaliers taking the win here. This one was over well before the final.
You got to forget about that one.
Kevin,
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, LeBron James. He made all the key plays every step of the way. They depend on him to deliver these sorts of performances, and he helped carry his team tonight. What are your thoughts, Kenny?
His passing was what impressed me the most about his performance. He was always looking for a teammate in a space, keeping all his options open. It's really refreshing to see the mindset coming from a position other than the point. He finished with 10 assists, and those played a big role in this win.
We all know, anytime you got LeBron James on the floor.
And that brings us to the end of our broadcast for this evening.
Coming home, New York City, baby. I'll be honest, I'm pretty excited. Mama, Pops, and Cece, yeah, they're gonna be there. Playing in front of them in the NBA uniform for the first time is gonna be a special moment for me. Now, I know all of Harlem's gonna be watching. No pressure, right? It's all good, though. I've been waiting for this my entire life. And I'll be ready.
From Brooklyn, New York, and the home of the Nets, we're broadcasting live from Barclays Center. And as we start the weekend here on this Friday night, 2K Sports welcoming you to NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, and on the sideline tonight, Doris Burke. You take a look at the Trailblazers. They come in off a difficult stretch of home games, and a win here on the road would do a lot to get that confidence back.
Yeah, you know, it's really tough what they're going through right now. The situation they're in, doubt starts to creep in, especially as the losses mount, and that just makes them as a team more and more vulnerable.
You know, you're right on point with that, Clark. I mean, the team chemistry does come into question. Yeah. I have to wonder whether or not the players have started to tune the coaches out.
Robinson's checked in for Lopez. Young comes in for Bargnani. Hollis Jefferson's checked in for Joe Johnson. And Bogdanovich is subbed in for Wayne Ellington. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Mason Plumlee's checked in for Kane. Noah Vonleh comes in for Ed Davis. Freak's checked in for Al Farouk Amini. And it's C.J. McCollum in for Gerald Henderson. Trailblazers trail by 4.
And Thomas Robinson has been on a lot of teams here in this short time. in the league. Not easy to find a spot when you're always getting moved.
To the right side. Wide open look, and he gets it to go. Bogdanovich has got his first basket of the night.
Boy, I love the great assist that time by Jack.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score.
Shot's not there. You've got to understand that. Move the basketball.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm not quite sure what his mindset or what he was thinking there. I mean, that was just a terrible shot.
The Nets shooting their first free throws of this game.
And I think this is a strength of this team. Solid numbers at the line across. The board 77% collectively.
And they've made progress in that department from last season going into this one, guys. I mean, the numbers have improved.
The Trailblazers making a switch here. Henderson's checked in. There's a screen by Robinson. Hollis Jefferson passes to Young, and he goes in for the dunk.
And, you know, that's an example of how many plays we have in a game for which there's no stat. A monster dunk coming off just a terrific pick play.
Greg, you're right. It really did work to perfection. Gave him all the room he needed for the flush.
Boy, that's a sound physical play. I mean, can't be afraid to put a shoulder into somebody every once in a while. It's a contact sport, folks.
No good from Jack.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Here's McCollum. Looking for his first basket still in this one. 5 on the clock. He feeds it to Freak. There's the triple. Thomas Robinson comes up with a rebound.
And he made sure not to just draw the foul. That was good defense out on the perimeter.
Very good. He's a thinking man's defender. Knows how to bother even the best shooters without being overly aggressive.
Jack. And he lays it straight in.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in.
Oh! How about that, Kevin? What range on that shot. Unbelievable. It's amazing. And we reached the end of the first quarter. It's the Nets. Transitioning from college to the pros can be a challenge for many players. Here's what Freak had to say about adjusting his game to the... Good points, Clark. What role do coaches play? Thomas Robinson, he's checked in for Lopez. Young comes in for Bargnani. And Bogdanovich is subbed in for Jarrett Jack. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Chris Kamen's checked in for Leonard. Plumlee comes in for Ed Davis. Freak's checked in for Al Farouk Aminu. And it's Henderson for C.J. McCollum. Wayne Ellington is out there at Bogdanovich. Then it's Johnson. Then it's Robinson. And it's Young in a power forward position. So that's the Nets 5. From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Jazz was not his usual self. He picked up 5 points and he was able to dish out a few helpers to teammates as well. One of the concerns of the coaching staff is that this isn't an isolated incident. Now with a growing number of week games, he says he's ready for a turnaround right here, right now. We'll see if he does just that, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. And just not the game he hoped to have, guys.
And I know he felt like he let his team down with that performance, and I'm betting he comes out here tonight with a lot of extra motivation.
Absolutely. The competitor in him is going to lead to playing with a chip on his shoulder. You can count on that.
Robinson sets a screen for Johnson. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
And look, Joe Johnson last season, not his best statistically, but boy, did he show some heart. I mean, he was one of the catalysts for Brooklyn making the playoffs, especially when Brook Lopez returned healthy and the two could play off of one another.
Here's Young. Feeds to Bogdanovich. There's the triple. Henderson pulls it in. Henderson's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And there's the pass to Lillard. There's 53 seconds left in the first half of the game. And it's Kaman missing. Talking about Joe Johnson, I'm not going to lie. Last year wasn't one of his best statistically, Clark. His shooting accuracy was on the low end. His turnover numbers were high. It wasn't very pretty.
But for Joe, Kevin, I don't think it was about the numbers last year. It was about wanting to compete and to win. And he's developed a champion's will over the years. And I would like to see him finally achieve his goal of maybe winning the championship. I think he deserves it. He's been consistent. He's been solid. And now you see some maturation with him as well.
Kicks it to Bogdanovich. To the left wing. Ellington dishes to Young. There's the feed to Robinson. Johnson outside. There's a screen by Robinson. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
Oh, that's a close call there on the illegal screen.
But I'd go along with it, Greg. I mean, it didn't look like his feet were set to me.
To the wing right side. And a wide open look for Freak. Off target from outside. Ellington can't get it to go. And the first half is now in the books. Net.
Kevin, we have Brook Lopez.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. What can you say? Myers-Leonard, he's checked in for Kaman. Freak comes in for Gerald Henderson. And it's C.J. McCollum in for Lillard. On the court right now for the Trailblazers. Kirk, he's in at shooting guard. Davis is out there with Myers-Leonard. Then there's McCollum. And it's Aminu in at the small forward. The dish to Freak. The jump shot from the baseline is right on target. Freak's got 8 points. Nets leading by 5. Johnson outside. Davis against Bargnani. Shot's good.
You know, you can give a defender a lot of trouble if you're consistent with that turnaround jumper. It's almost impossible to block.
Over to the wing. And Aminu kicks to McCollum. Davis with a screen on Jack. Here's McCollum. They get the rebound. To the wing on the left. Here's Aminu. Rebounded by the Nets. They are coming into this having notched a win against the Knicks in their last game.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
Yeah, I'd go along with that, Greg. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard for it.
Top shot blockers in the NBA. Brook Lopez third.
There aren't going to be many nights when you don't see him affect the game with his shot blocking ability.
Portland shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight. That one is off. Some changes for Brooklyn. Thaddeus Young. He's checked in for Bargnani. Hollis Jefferson subbed in for Wayne Ellington. And Portland with a change here too. Noah Vonleh, he's checked in for Ed Davis. Nets leading by 6. And Jack kicks to Johnson. To the inside. And stolen by Vonleh. Trailblazers moving the ball around. Pass to Kirk. He kicks to Vonleh. Rejected by Young.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
And bullseye with that assist. Nice delivery there in traffic.
Trailblazers trail by 8. Thaddeus Young provides a lot of things, Clark. Solid on both ends of the floor. You can plug him into almost any lineup and make it work.
Yeah, he's an ideal basketball player because of his versatility. I think that's one of his greatest strengths. Not only can he play the 3 or 4, he can go inside and outside, too.
Portland's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Now here's just 5 on the clock. Fires top of the key. That one wide left. Brooklyn leading by 8. And here is Jack. He's certainly been a consistent piece of their offense, averaging about 14.5 points a game. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. 13 points for Brook Lopez.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Yeah, it's really been quite a contrast. I like the way they're attacking the middle at their offensive end.
Robinson's checked in for the Nets. Bogdanovich comes in for Johnson. The Trailblazers. 17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. You've got Thomas Robinson. Jarrett Jack is out there with Young. Then it's Bargnani. And it's Lopez at the 5 roaming the paint. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. And so it's Brooklyn with the win.
Well, Joe, congrats.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Always
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Let's Brook Lopez. No matter what they threw at him during the second half, it seemed like he had the answer. And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Giga lang magandang performance.
Some people say you just hang around.
Total gameplay. Game.
Steph Curry and the Warriors next game. I've been looking forward to this for a while now. You know they'll be running and gunning. And Steph's gonna do 2 or 3 things that make you want to stop and stare. But we can't let that distract us. Because if we lose focus for even a second, they'll be up 20. So maybe it's up to me to put on a little show of my own.
This is 2K Sports broadcasting from Portland, Oregon, as the Trailblazers take it to the hardwood. The Warriors are in the midst of a road trip going into this one, going up against a capable opponent, but you see their confidence. This one they feel they should win. They'll look to come out strong and show they're the better team.
Yeah, looking to stay unbeaten against this team. A win here would get them off to a 2-0 start in this 4-game season series.
And Greg, it also would solidify their advantage in this.
Mason Plumlee's checked in for Kaman. Noah Vonleh comes in for Ed Davis. And Freak subbed in for Al Farouk Aminu. Golden State also making some changes. Spates checked in for Bogut. And it's Iguodala in for Klay Thompson.
Well, you know, last season Steve Kerr came into a good situation, but a touch off it. The team wasn't 100% on board with the firing of the previous coach, but he won them over in a hurry.
C.J. McCollum, he's checked in for Gerald Henderson. And then for Golden State, Barbosa comes in for Harrison Barnes. And it's Livingston in for Curry. Barbosa for three. Can't get it to go. And it's Portland the other way. Greg, Steve Kerr did win over the locker room in a hurry last season. They had finished a successful run under Mark Jackson. Winning accelerates everything. They certainly bought into it.
They really did. And people don't often appreciate how difficult it is to come into a situation where expectations are that high. But he also went out of his way to empower his players and really give them some accountability. Didn't try to hide anyone on defense and played to the strengths of his team on the offensive end.
Mason Plumlee will really put it on you. Tough, hard-nosed player, has the size to bang and the athleticism, GA, to run the court.
And it's interesting, Kevin. His game translated better as a professional than maybe as a collegiate. I mean, he's a guy that's a lunch pail kind of player. Rolls up his sleeves, focuses in, and willing to do the dirty work.
Excellent point about the comparison college to pro. I think you're right on. Freak sets a screen for Lillard. And no good. And a chance to take the lead.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the board.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game.
Portland's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside.
You know, back to Plumlee, he showed steady improvement last season, improved statistically in just about every category over his rookie year. He could become a little less mechanical with his post game. I think he could even go higher.
Here's Iguodala. Not enough on that one as it misses. Portland leading. Lillard outside. Green with the rebound.
You know, one thing about Plumlee, going back, he's been a tremendous rebounder. He can shoot over 60% from the field for you. However, he was a terrible free throw shooter last season, under 50%, which caused at least a couple teams to employ a little hack-a-Mason strategy.
Now here's McCollum, covered by Barbosa. McCollum off a pick from Kirk. 6 to shoot. Fires the three. Offensive rebound. Vonleh.
Nice.
And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
And great effort on the boards. And what a move.
Yeah.
That was, Gary. I mean, you just will not see him ever quit on a play.
That guy is a handful. You've got to have a body on him, Clark, at all times.
And you know what? Sometimes that's not even enough. He'll go around, over, or through you to get to the pump.
Lillard outside. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two. It's going to be on Maurice Space.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
The Trailblazers have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both. And he knocks down the first one.
All day.
Second free throw, no good. Here is Livingston. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. And now a chance to hear from point guard Damian Lillard. He explains his stoic demeanor. I would say, Clark, we probably shouldn't expect to see Lillard start here for Portland. Mason Plumlee's checked in for Myers Leonard. Noah Vonleh comes in for Davis. Freaks checked in for Al-Farouq Aminu. And Damian Lillard is subbed in for C.J. McCollum. Different look here for the Warriors. Draymond Green, he's checked in for Spates. Iguodala comes in for Harrison Barnes. Leandro Barbosa, he's checked in for Klay Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. Kirk, he's in at 3. Vonleh's out there with Plumlee. Then it's Damian Lillard, and it's Henderson in at the 2. That's the group in the game for the Trailblazers.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Rockets had a difficult game. He chipped in his share of points and added a couple of rebounds with that. One thing that's a bit disturbing for him right now is the fact that it's been a string of games like this together. His numbers are down, and we'll see if he can buck the trend in this one, guys.
Good work as always, Doris. Thank you. Well, we haven't seen too many games, guys, like that out of him before.
And you know what? I'm thinking we'll see a different guy here tonight. Hard to imagine he'd have back-to-back bad games.
Yep, forget about back-to-back bad games on an individual basis. What he really wants to avoid are back-to-back losses.
And both free throws good from Freak. Warriors leading by 4. We've got 1:23 left in the first half. Barbosa. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen. Another trip to the stripe for him, and I tell you what, a little bit of a different feel here in the second quarter. A little more banging going on.
Man, and it's really served them well. Seeking out the contact you mentioned and putting pressure on the defense.
Here's Vonleh. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. Lillard left side, 6 to shoot. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And sometimes when you want something done, you got to do it yourself. That dunks the shot in the arm they need to really cut into that lead.
Well, Greg, it certainly got everybody on their bench up and off their seats and cheering.
Yeah, that could be an instant momentum shift. That certainly was a rim record.
Pass to Plumlee. Some nice ball movement here by the Trailblazers. The 17-footer. Count it, and the Warrior lead has been cut down now to just 5 on the basket from Henderson.
And not a great start for him in the first, but he's quickly starting to turn it around.
Green kicks to Barbosa. Back to Green. And another 3 for Golden State.
And after that ragged first quarter, they're getting some momentum, some confidence. Nice flow.
Yeah, and, you know, the game of basketball, as you will, to move in a positive direction now. Nice upswing here.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
That's a 2 from Lillard. And so we conclude.
Yes, I'm here with...
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. So an entirely new group here for Portland. Plumlee is checked in for Kaman. Myers Leonard comes in for Ed Davis. Freaks checked in for Al Farouk Aminu. And McCollum subbed in for Gerald Henderson. Spates checked in for Golden State. Iguodala comes in for Draymond Green. Setting the floor for the Warriors. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson. They're in the backcourt. Iguodala, the 3 with Barnes, the stretch 4. And it's Spates in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Passes to Kirk. Kicks it to Leonard. He feeds it to Plumlee. Lillard, the pass to Plumlee, and stolen by Barnes. Iguodala with it. Lillard picks him up. Spates sets a screen. Inside, here's Barnes. That falls. Nice feed that time from Andre Iguodala. 6 points for Barnes. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Warriors.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
And also, I've been extremely impressed with their interior D. Their rim protection has been as good as it gets.
And for Andre Iguodala, last year was a first in 758 games. Up until then, he had not once ever come off the bench.
Yeah, he'd been a starter throughout his 10-year career, every single game, Kevin. And last year he came off the bench in every game. Big adjustment for the veteran, but he made it well.
Here's what Portland's going with right now. Noah Vonleh, he's checked in for Leonard. And it's Henderson for C.J. McCollum. Warriors leading by 20. And a wide open look for Iguodala. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
And getting back to Iguodala last season, not only did he come off the bench for the first time ever, but he really thrived in doing so. Playing the fewest minutes per game of his career, he was able to avoid some of the nagging injuries that had plagued him in the past. And so he could stick around to help the Warriors assemble that franchise record of 67 wins last season.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Lillard outside. It's Henderson on the wing. 6 on the shot clock. The Trailblazers need to get off a shot, and that one's good. 8 points for Mason Plumlee.
Not much the defense can do once he gets to the bucket.
Here is Livingston. Lays it up and banks it in.
I love the killer instinct he shows right there, exploding to the rim to add to the lead.
Lillard. No good there. The 3 quarters of play.
Tambak 20. Talo.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the almost entirely new group here for Portland. Myers Leonard, he's checked in for Kaman. Vonleh comes in for Ed Davis. Freaks checked in for Al Farouk Aminu. And McCollum subbed in for Lillard. And Golden State also making a change. Thompson's checked in. Kirk in at small forward. Myers Leonard is out there with Vonleh. Then it's Henderson, and it's McCollum in at the point. That's the group on the floor for Portland. The shot by Thompson, and no one's around. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. And the Warriors lead by 20.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Warriors.
You're right, Steve. It was a standout performance across the board. They were just, at times, hard to seem toying with.
Yeah, like watching a cat play with a mouse, Kevin, quite honestly. They were able to do more or less, whatever they wanted to do.
And this will make it 36 wins on the year for them.
And once the horn sounds, they're going to go up 2-0 in the season series.
But, Greg, still 2 more games upcoming between these teams, so we could have a few more twists and turns down the road.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Green. And with the way he came out energized on the defensive end in particular, getting a hand on a lot of shots, that really got them rolling.
And Barbosa drops them both. Looking at Portland, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Rockets. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
And this run not really doing them any good at this point, as late as it's starting to evolve.
Yeah, but kudos to him, Greg. I mean, the fight they're showing now, you got to give them credit for that. Would have been really easy to pack it in.
Thompson outside. And the foul called on Freak. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. That free throw good from Thompson.
Klay Thompson.
And so Thompson nails both of them. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Harrison Barnes.
So we see the Warriors taking the game here.
Talo na naman.
Yes, Kevin, here with
the 2K Sports post-game show.
Kevin, much appreciated, and now let's present our Jordan, Draymond Green. He was the steady and reliable hand throughout the game tonight. And that wraps things up, folks. Thanks for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal.
Three-point. Asal. Tama na, boys. Kaya.